Of course I have to belch like as soon as I hit record. Good job, Carrie. Hey y'all! Welcome to our Zen Chaos, a little bit of Zen in the world full of chaos. I am Carrie, mom, birth doula, homeschooler, homeschool teacher. What am I? All the things. So, today I'm here to talk about our curriculum for Luna. So Luna is in first grade. She started off, if you listen to my last video, she started off going to public school for kindergarten, and then went to public school for the first half of the first semester, so like the first quarter of first grade, and then we decided that we wanted to switch over to homeschool. So if you wanted to know why we switched over to homeschool, I just did a video of that this past week, so you can go over there and click on that video and find out some of those reasons. But today I'm going to talk about what our school curriculum looks like, what on like a day-to-day basis. So it's nice because in Texas the rules are pretty lax. You don't have to do any testing, any state testing or anything like that. You don't have to turn in any papers. You don't have to work with like a tutor or anything like that that you have to do in other states. Texas is pretty chill. The law is really basic. So the Texas state law for homeschooling is that instruction must be bona fide, which means like not a sham. It has to be legit instructions. The curriculum must be in a visual form of some kind, so that can be videos, that can be workbooks, that can be flashcards, it can be manipulables, any of that. And it has to cover 5 subjects. It needs to cover reading, spelling, grammar, math, and good citizenship. So like social studies, basically. And so I'm just gonna show you kind of what that looks like in our day-to-day life. So we have 2 binders that that are kind of like our binders that we use all the time. This is Luna's schoolwork binder that she works out of. We do school Monday through Thursday, 4 days a week. And that leaves us a little bit of wiggle room in case I get called to a birth. A cat just jumped on the bed, so hopefully the camera doesn't go flying. So we do school 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. And that leaves us room in case I get called to a birth or in case someone is sick or whatever that might look like. So 4 days a week we work out of this binder. I will show you this in just a moment. And then anything that we do that we've completed, we put in this completed homework binder. You see the difference between Luna's like awesome like decorated binder and like my completed homework binder. And this isn't, I don't keep this for any reason other than to show Luna how far she's come and to personally take inventory of like how far she's come and what maybe we need to work on in the future. So this is just old worksheets that are completed. There's actually a book in here that I need to take out that we will talk about in a moment. So let's talk about the workbooks that we use really quick. So every day she does a sheet from one of these workbooks, and yeah. So phonics, this is just a really easy and fun phonics workbook that has like the different pictures and like has little I call them games, but like they're just like little lessons about phonics and how they work, and what the sound should sound like. And we've been doing really good. She's really been learning how to sound things out with this book. This is by Core Skills, and so I've really been loving this phonics book. It has done wonders for her. We're about halfway through it, so we might need to get like another phonics book before the end of the year, but we'll see. Then after phonics, every day we do science, and I really enjoy this science book. Luna's favorite subject is science, and so she always wants to do it. She's always excited. So what it is and it's by the same Core Skills company that does her phonics, but so what it has is just like some basic easy paragraphs that either she reads, or if she's really not in the mood for reading that day, then I'll read. And so we'll just read through it. And then there's a couple of like questions that just that just enforces what she learned. And then there's a vocabulary section that goes over stuff. There's a reading skills, and then there's like ask questions, or like critical thinking, or compare and contrast, or classify, or observe. Like they're, you know, just basically science-based questions. And we love that. We do those every single day, and she's always excited to do that. Next we do math, and right now we're doing Singapore math practice. I have really been enjoying this book. I think it's really easy to follow. All the lessons come with like a unit start page that just kind of goes over what the unit's going to be talking about, and has like some examples, and then you just go through and you do it. There's lots of really fun pictures that makes the math more exciting to do. It's not just a bunch of numbers on the page, and it's just, I don't know, it's simple, but it also, like, these are number bands, which kind of goes off of the Common Core standards that most people are using nowadays. So far so good. We've really been liking Singapore math, and I've never heard anything but good things about Singapore math. So it's grade 2, even though she's grade 1. I mean, what does that even mean really though? So both her phonics and her math are grade 2, even though she's considered like a first grader, but she does just fine with these. She doesn't, it's challenging, but it's not like over the top challenging. She can easily do it and learn from it, and it's not like pushing her beyond what she's able to do. Next we do logic puzzles, and this is lollipop logic. I heard about this when I first started researching homeschool curriculum, and I'm really glad that we did it. We're done with this book. There's like no more pages left, so I have the second one on order. There's 3 of these for this level of lollipop logic, which is grades K through 2. This is book 1, which we've just finished, and then there's 2 other books, 2 and 3, that we'll be getting as well. And it's great. It's great for just like critical thinking and going over analogies and patterns and decoding and inference and all of that. It's great. I really dig it. And that's like her favorite thing too, and it's the last thing that we do in her binder every day, because like it's what she looks forward to. It's like the puzzle game at the end, so she likes it. Once every week or once every other week, we will dive into Storytime Treasures. This is one of the only, no, I would say this is one of 2 things that I do that's more classical homeschool related versus more of like, I don't know what I would call it, but we're very much an eclectic homeschool. We don't stick to any certain curriculum. We don't stick to any certain standards. So we're not like Charlotte Mason based. We're not classical based. We're not, you know, faith based, anything like that. We're just very like eclectic, like a little bit of everything. So Storytime Treasures is awesome. It's just a study guide basically for some classic literature like Blueberries for Sal. And so you have just some reading that you do. So you have the book, Blueberries for Sal. You can own it or get it at the library, either way. You read through, and it says read through, sat down right in the middle and ate blueberries, right? So you read through to that passage in the book, and then you just kind of talk about like, say the words, write it in a sentence. Now we don't write in this book just because I kind of want to use it again with Serenity, even though Serenity kind of sits down and does this lesson with us anyways, but you know, it's nice to have and then maybe resell. So we just do this on their little whiteboards, and then they might not even like want to write that day. We'll just talk about it, but it's really cute, and it's really great about reading comprehension and vocabulary and grammar, and all of that is in here. So that's nice. And these are just the 2 books that we have for it currently, which is Caps for Sale and Blueberries for Sal. Then we do handwriting, and this is another like classical homeschool type thing, and I think it's Charlotte Mason as well, which is handwriting. And for most people, or for most classical homeschoolers and Charlotte Mason homeschoolers, they suggest starting with cursive as opposed to print because it's more flowy. And you know, when kids like start pretending to write, typically they do like the scribbles, right? It feels more natural. So that's what we're starting with. She already knows print just because she did that in kindergarten and in first grade. So yeah, but as you can see, I just laminated all the, was a worksheet, was like a workbook, and I just ripped the cover off and put it in here in this binder, and then I laminated every page. And so here's her dry erase marker, and then she just goes through and she traces, and then she writes her own, and we don't have that one, but, and then I can just erase it and she can do it again sometime. And she really enjoys this. She likes working on her letters. She doesn't really enjoy writing, but she likes doing handwriting workbooks, if that makes sense. And like, you know, kids. And this is grades 2 through 5 again, like 2 through 5, but I mean, if it works for your kids, it doesn't matter what grade it is. So we don't have a specific like history or geography workbook, but we subscribe to a company called Little Passports, and they have a USA one as well as a world one. So my little one, my 3-year-old, she's subscribed to their Early Explorers pack, which is like world culture, but like really simplified for little ones, like preschoolers. And then Luna does their just Little Passports. I don't think it's like Early Explorers or anything. They're Little Passports. And this is, we do the USA one right now. So she gets one of these every month, and it goes over the states. So this one, for example, is Minnesota and Nevada. And then what it basically has is just a bunch of information about the state and the history of the state, and a bunch of the cool sites that you can see there. And it just kind of goes over it all. And then there's like little activities on every page too that she can work through. So this has been really fun, and this has been a great way of teaching history and geography without it seeming like a lesson. It's more of like just fun game time, and like reading is really what this is. So that's that. And then we do culture as well, because I think it's really important to expose children to culture and history at an early age, and for it to be honest. So we use this, which is cultural enrichment flashcards, and these are by beaut&beast. And I will link all of this stuff down in the description below in case you're curious about any of them or where to find them. But man, I am in love with these flashcards. They are gorgeous. They are thought-provoking, they're emotion-provoking, and I just adore them. So like in the other video, we were talking about doing a flashcard day because I didn't have her workbook all set up ready to go because, you know, life. So we just did a flashcard day, and this was the person that we studied. Her name is Sor Juana Inez de la Cruz, and she was just back in the 1600s in Mexico and Spain. She was basically fighting for feminism. And so I love this because it talks about, so it says their name, and then it has like a paragraph about them, and in each one there's underlined words, and then there's some other vocabulary words that kind of just talk about that, like describe yourself in 3 words, you know what I mean? And that's what these are, describing this person in 3 words. It's really cold today, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm shaking. But yeah, and so the underlined words are more vocabulary, and this is the cool thing about this card set. So not only are the images beautiful, like this artwork is amazing, it's also history and culture. but it's also vocabulary. And so there's word bank cards that go along with this. So you have like the underlined word, and then you can just find it on these word bank cards and talk about it. So it's talking about like her being a feminist. And so you come here and it's feminist, a person who supports women, right? It's like very easy. It's like, it's nothing scary or anything like that. It's honest and it's thought-provoking and just so much fun to look at and learn about. And I love it because it's all different people of all different colors and nationalities and genders and all through the years. And they're just, like I said, these cards are beautiful. So I will definitely link these down below. Support indie educators, because man, they make some awesome stuff for kids. I love this set. And so yeah, those are like the basic curriculum that we use. We have all of our bases covered. We have science and logic and reading and writing and geography and culture and social studies and all of that. And then I'll just want to show you her book really quick. So she decorated the front. My cat is freaking out about all this stuff on the bed. So we have these, which I made, and I just made these with, you know, printing off a page and then laminating it. And so it's just the English alphabet and then the Spanish alphabet. Are you gonna calm down? So English alphabet, Spanish alphabet, and we just kind of go and we're like A, B, B, C, K. And we just do that all through, and then we do A, B, C, Ch. And we go through the Spanish alphabet, and we might sing a song or whatever. And I have two of them in here, one for Rennie and one for Luna. And then we have her Spanish workbook. So this is different. We don't really like write the words or anything in here, because she was in Spanish immersion when she went to school. She was part of the dual language program, so she spoke Spanish all the time and very, very little English. So she knows most of these anyways, and then we just go through and I'm like, okay, let's talk about colors today, and I'll point to the color and she says it in Spanish. And you know, and that's what we do. And if you see, like, it has the Spanish words underneath, and we'll just like talk about that. And it has like different sports and everything. So yeah, so this is like the Spanish book that we kind of work out of, but I'm trying to find a better Spanish curriculum. We also do Sign Time, which is a sign language DVD, and I'll go over like the DVDs and stuff that we use later. We get them all from the library, so we don't own any of them, and I think we only have Sign Time right now. But yeah, okay. And so this is like a completed day of homework for her. So she likes to call it homework instead of schoolwork because she's doing it at home, and she's really specific about stuff like that. So last week we were doing, short vowels like and so this is just a review of those short vowels, and she had to like write it, and she likes it because she likes to like draw on it and stuff. We're not really particular about anything. And then she had to read through like reading comprehension with short vowels, and she had to like look at the pictures and circle the sentence that matched. And then this was her science, and like she'll write sometimes, but most of the time I'll just write like oral if we just had a conversation about it. I don't have to do that because we don't turn in papers anywhere. I'm just like weird. And then here's her math for the week, or for the day, and it's like both sides, see. And then here's her logic, which is just like patterns, and on the back it was like match the missing picture piece to the picture. You know, it's just simple but fun. And that's just basically it. So all in all, we do between 1 and 2 hours of school book work a day, so nothing too overwhelming. And people that have their kids in public school are like, what, 1 to 2 hours? But when you think about it, at public school or private school, there's a lot of lining up, there's a lot of waiting until the other kids are finished, there's a lot of getting everybody to settle down and quiet down. There's a lot of, you know, like, we're gonna go to the library, we're gonna go outside and play, we're gonna go to lunch, we're gonna go to art class or music class or whatever. And there's a lot of busy work that's done. Not that that's wrong. I think if you want to do public school and that's what works for y'all, awesome. No shame. Just that's why, you know, you can do, it can take like 8 or 9 hours for public school versus 1 to 2 hours of homeschool, because we're not doing busy work, we're not lining up or anything. It's like one-on-one work, so we get it done pretty quick, and then we spend the rest of the day playing and crafting and doing all kinds of other stuff. So in my next video I will kind of talk about the other kinds of learning tools we do, like the games that we play, the DVDs that we use, how our school room is kind of like set up. Our school room, it's just our dining room, we're not fancy. So yeah, I will make further videos of that because I've really been enjoying talking and teaching about homeschool lately. It's like a big passion of mine, and so yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or just ask, and I will try and get them answered for you as best as I can. So I hope this was informational, educational, entertaining. Probably not, but I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.